this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill no one.
Wait a second.
No.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobuki Jake, and we're here to show you what we got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
This is a special hoarding up edition of the pickups because I have almost all. There may be a couple at the end that I throw on, but almost all of them have to do with this, which is a mystery box that one has hooked me up with. Now, but I'm going to get into that in a moment, but I do have some stuff to start us out with, something to whet the appetite. So I have been buying from his eBay store. He sells some pretty good stuff. Sometimes he catches some rare stuff on his thrift store finds. So if you can, check it out. Look at his eBay store. I'm going to include a link to it down below in the description. So check it out. And if you find something you like, let him know that Septum sent you and that Jake told you no, stay away.
No, don't say that. That would be wrong.
So one of the first ones, and this is really cool that I got off of his eBay site, was a George Carlin and Ben Stiller film, oddly enough, which is called Working Trash. Now, this is a comedy. Essentially, they're both, Ben Stiller is an aspiring stock trader, but can't get his butt in the door, so he's stuck being a janitor. George Carlin is just a janitor, and he's in a lot of debt to the mob. So they end up working together and doing some stock trading on a computer in the basement and end up making a fortune. So it's kind of a cool one. It's got a fun cast. There's the thing there. I had never heard of this one prior to this. I don't know. Have you heard about Have you heard about this one prior?
I think I heard of it, but I don't know much about it.
So it's kind of fun. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't checked it out and you're a fan of George Carlin, you should check this out. It's kind of fun having anything, I mean, where he's actually actively acting throughout the entirety of it. It's rare to see that. So it's just kind of cool.
Right.
I am glad to have this gem in my collection.
Good times. So my first one is going to be a slight departure from our usual stuff. It's going to be comics. So first thing we did, recently, I've been doing some eBay, more than I should. Anyway, and there was recently one auction that ended with this particular series. The auction price ended up being not much more than I offered this particular vendor. So who knows? Maybe it'll happen eventually. But that was an actual auction. But there was a vendor who was offering both sets of Monogatari. I made a couple offers. I did not hit the magic number before I was cut off.
Oh, well.
But from the same vendor, they put up a stack of comics, and I bid, and got a pretty good price on them. I was actually this whole stack,
Oh wow,
$20. That's not bad.
No.
So we got to show you what I got here. They actually sent me a bonus. I honestly couldn't tell you which of the 5 I got and which one was the freebie. I can't remember. But so I got 4 hardcover paperback omnibus, not really omnibus, but 4 nice hardcover editions of the Runaways. Got
Cool.
Dead Wrong, which is volumes 1 through 6. Rock Zombies, which is 7 through 10. Homeschooling, which is 11 through 14. And Dead End Kids, which jumps ahead to the Joss Whedon section and is 25 to 30. So I'm missing a couple volumes in there. And this is, I think, volume 2 of the series, or 2 and 3. It's not the initial Brian K. Vaughan run of the series, which I still need to eventually get. But that's going to look really awesome on the shelf right there.
I need to watch.
And I also got,
I say I need to watch the show.
I know, me too. I saw the first 3 episodes. I need to finish it. Young Avengers and Runaways Civil War 2. Or this was part of the Civil War 2. I mean, there was their part of it. And then Runaways and Young Avengers Secret Invasion. So the tie-ins to 2 of the big recent crossovers where they paired them up, Young Avengers being, if I remember correctly, I think it's Miss Marvel, Miles Morales, some of those. I could be wrong about that. But anyway, like I said, considering that these are individually roughly $20 cover prices, I think I did well with that. And Runaways is a phenomenal series. Like, it's had its different phases, its different moments. The Terry Moore comics were excellent. I think I've read most of this run, and I think I read this portion of it. I can't remember if I've read the Joss Whedon part, but the Brian K. Vaughan part was phenomenal, and Rainbow Rowell has taken over since then, and she's been doing a good job. So it's a really good series. If you haven't gotten into it, you got to give it a go, all you comic fans out there.
Very cool. Very cool indeed. So one of the things that now, of course, y'all have to give me until Friday when I get paid so I can have some crack at a couple other things I'm looking at on there, but I just can't.
You want some crack?
I just can't actually, get it right now. But
Right.
I went ahead and I got this along with Working Trash, which was a decent price for it, and that is the sequel to Super Size Me 2, Holy Chicken. And this is, of course, another one of the, what was his name? Morgan Spurlock's documentaries. Super Size Me was very well received. It actually probably was the reason why we no longer see Super Size in McDonald's. It was not entirely honest all the way through, but it had its reasons and it had its method. So I have to give it that. This one, again, I'm not sure 100% if I can trust it 100%, but it does give you an inside look at big chicken as an industry and what goes into those chicken sandwiches that you so much like. And he
See also Food Incorporated.
Yes.
Yeah.
He also did prove, and I know enough about big farming to know that a lot of this stuff, I knew a lot of this stuff already, so it wasn't a surprise to me, but I think it's kind of good. It helped me look at this and say, okay, I saw this on streaming first before I went ahead and bought the physical. And again, I was like, okay, most of this stuff checks out this time around. So what's funny is he actually opens a restaurant at the end, and you can see like he shows the truth of it, but people keep eating the chicken anyway. And but that's the thing, if you see the stuff and you still want to eat the stuff, at least you know what's going on with it,
Mhm.
and that's I think more important than anything else. But still, I mean, you get to kind of see it from Chick. He shows in with the little chicks all the way to Bun at the end, and it was a good documentary. I recommend it. I got it for about $10 from him, and it was worth having that. It was worth $10,
Good deal.
especially to have the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I am with my sequels.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of, my next one's actually a pair, but a while back, Brandon gave me a really good price on some stuff that's been sitting here collecting dust ever since. And I decided to go ahead and put a few of them forward this week. And there are going to be some of the DC animated movies. And the first two here, we've got Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Volumes 1 and 2.
Woohoo!
Which I have not yet seen these. Dark Knight Returns was a very dark comic, a Frank Miller comic that was, I think it might have been Kevin Smith who joked that it was the only comic that Zack Snyder must have seen when he made those movies. But either that or I made that joke, but I think that I'd seen that. It is very dark. But I'm curious about these. If they're faithful to the comics, they will be a very interesting change of pace for Batman stuff. And, if nothing else, the DC animated films tend to be pretty good. So I'm looking forward to them eventually.
Very cool. So now we get on to the mystery box. So
Ooh.
what movie one was selling these mystery boxes that are random things from his collection. It could be really cool stuff. It could be just kind of average stuff. You never know what you're going to get. I bought two of them. And so they came in this big thing. And I said, I'm going to show this. I might have everything in here. But, so I'm going to get out my my blade, Evandrocles. To cut open my box here, and we'll see what we got. Let's see if I've got anything that is new or interesting or rare or excessively common. We'll see how it goes. I like a good mystery box, and it may still be doing it. So you need to check it out. Check out his channel. I will try to link it below, and I mean, you probably have already checked it out already. I mean, you're following us. We're kind of the low end of the spectrum when it comes to movie collecting, and he's one of those like at the high end of the spectrum. So let's see what we've got. So we're going to start. Well, I will start low with one I've seen here, which is a copy of Superman Returns, the Brandon Routh one on DVD. This is cute. I liked it when it was there. I do own it, but Kevin Spacey does an excellent Lex Luthor in this.
He does.
I mean, more of the other one. What's that?
I'm sorry. I can't think of Kevin Spacey today with I watched Borat subsequent movie film last night. Do you remember the Kevin Spacey joke?
Yes. Yeah. One day that'll be out on physical, and I'll have to get that as well. So it is cool. Yeah. It will go on my pile of things to eventually move on, but it is kind of cool to have on.
So another one I got in that big pile from Brandon is one that, again, one thing that'd be nice to have eventually to go into. I've been wanting to see this for a while and just have not prioritized it. And even though I now own it, I have not prioritized it, but I need to do so. And that is the one of DC's more unusual original movies, if you will, that was not based, I think, on a specific comic or not a well-known one. And that was Batman Gotham by Gaslight, which does seem like a very intriguing idea, though. It's one of those kind of transplant the Batman into a different sort of reality sort of deal.
Oh yeah, I look
And
forward to that.
was that?
I look forward to seeing that myself.
Yeah, I want to see this. And again, I've got it. It needs to be watched, but I am glad I have it because it looks like a cool concept.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'm going to reach in randomly and pull out another one of these titles. There should be about 8 in there, which is why we kind of threw it out there. So it's What She Said, The Art of Pauline Kael. There's it is. So,
I believe we covered that not long ago.
yeah, I was going to say, I know we did. I am curious about that. I probably said curious when we covered it.
Right.
So this looks kind of cool. I am very interested in this one. Let's see here. The New York film critic transformed film into an art form in the eyes of the public as a result of her writing. The pleasant weekend pastime quality of movie-going suddenly became a must-see, do-or-die, high-stakes experience. And it's still wrapped up. So this is kind of cool. I like this one. This is definitely a keeper. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So
good deal.
So one for keeps, one for a pile that'll go somewhere. They'll find a good home.
Right. Okay, so my next one was again. This is the last of the aforementioned group of ones that he found a good home for. And this one, apparently, I guess you had already watched or else got it used because it was not wrapped up nice and shiny and new. And it is one that I've actually seen, and that is the DC original film Batman and Harley Quinn, which I was fascinated by the idea that it brought together Harley, Batman, and Nightwing up against basically the Floronic Man, which is kind of a moronic name, really, and Poison Ivy. And if I recall correctly, there was a little bit of Swamp Thing in there, too, if I'm remembering correctly. It was good. It was not great. I would have liked better. It was, I think, the first time I've seen an animated rendering of green Poison Ivy. And I liked it well enough. I think they could have done better with Ivy. And kind of hooking Harley and Nightwing up was kind of weird. It wasn't as weird as Batman and Batgirl, but but at any rate, it was a fun movie, and I'm glad I got it.
Yeah, and the reason why, of course, we had this kind of thing there is I ended up getting that Batman Anniversary Collection, which had all of those and more.
Yeah, well, you had some I still don't have, I think.
I got it very cheap as well out of there, so it was worthwhile. Very much worth having in it. So, with that though, let us see what else is in our box. Huh? Oh. 8 heads in a duffel bag.
Nice.
A Joe Pesci film and a wonderful little comedy. I actually saw this back when I was in high school, I believe. And this is kind of cool. I did enjoy this film when I watched it. I do owns it, but that's because it is such a good film. It's not the best Joe Pesci film out there, but it is fun. I think most collections should have this as a comedy because it is fun to watch. Joe Pesci, of course, plays a hitman, and of course, he has the 8 heads in a duffel bag, which kind of gets lost in the shuffle. And he's trying to get back. So, again, fun movie, great film. It will find a good home.
I think I saw that once. I cannot remember. I saw parts of it. I still need to get it eventually. So my remainder have one definite thing in common and mostly have another in common. They are mostly Right Stuff orders from those 3 orders that ship to me all at once. They are mostly from those orders. There is one outlier that's an eBay purchase, but they are all anime, so they have that in common. And most of them fall into the one of 2 categories, completionism or upgrades. Most of them. So I chose to throw in one that was neither. And this is a series that I've been eyeing for some time. It's actually been released by Nozomi Entertainment, which of course is Right Stuff's in-house production company. And because it's an in-house Right Stuff one, those tend to stay in print and also be available pretty frequently at a low price, because Right Stuff often does pretty good sales on their stuff. So this is probably not the first time I've seen it at this price, but it was like 13 or so, and 12, 13. And it's one I wanted to get, so I finally went ahead and got Umi Monogatari, which basically means sea story or ocean story, if you will. It reminds me, from the look of it, as probably being similar to a Lull in the Sea in a lot of ways. I'm not sure if it is, but it's a thought. But it looks fun. It looks interesting. It was not pricey, and I'm glad I finally got it.
All right. Just sent you a text there. I did some counting, so but you can take a look at that while I'm showing off something here.
And this is in addition to the 2 you already had me pull?
Yeah, basically, it's in addition to that. It's basically it's this. What I've got left is the number we originally said was going to be, and we've already covered 5, so you see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this one is a cool one. This one is one that I had to get when I saw the poster. This is actually fairly rare, and that is Beware Children at Play.
Nice.
I know you've seen me show this poster off. It just entertains me. It's a trauma film. It is out of print. It is rather cool. Essentially, childhood used to be about jumping rope and playing hopscotch, but in one little backwoods town, it's now about slitting throats and eating flesh. You know, for kids.
Yeah.
So I am excited to have another copy of this. It's a lot cleaner than my copy. So that's kind of cool. I probably will be trying to get some extra money out of this one. That's going to be kind of cool to have, because this is a good one. It's not as common as I would like it to be, because it's fun. I love the little tagline. I mean, you know, this is a cool one in that. All right. So
Nice.
boom.
So, next up, you told me I needed to add some more, so I'm going to insert one here and hope for the best. We like to mock Funimation's Essentials line.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I try to avoid it. I don't know. I like having first run pressings when I can. But there are times where it's just like, but they're so cheap. And I saw a couple of titles that were on the Essentials line that I really wanted, that were actually at a really good price. And I was like, you know, whatever. I'll throw a couple on the order, whatever. So this one, probably from the reception it got, it probably should have been on the Classics line, but they threw it on Essentials because, you know, there's no counting for taste and whatnot.
For kids.
But this is one that I've heard great things about and I really want to see, and it's called Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
Ah, cool.
And complete series, again, Essentials. But it's apparently, if I'm not much mistaken, about a 30-something gamer who has to think about maybe possibly spending more time in the real world. which is a very rare premise for an anime.
Yeah,
And I've heard really good things about this. I really do want to see it. And it just was not coming down in price. And then this one was like $12, and I was like, okay, I'll get it.
I mean, that's the way that they place their save editions, and it did get a lot of cool things.
Yeah, and this one doesn't have that fugly green stripe, so it's
So let's see here. What do we got here? We've got Amateur.
Oh, that's one I want. I did see. That was a good one.
I don't believe I have this, actually. Believe it or not, I feel like I've seen this before. Obviously, previously viewed at Hollywood Video.
Obviously,
I swear I have seen this cover before, but I
if
don't.
I remember correctly, it has an awesome cast.
Yeah, I feel like I have somewhere before. Maybe let's see: Patrick Fugit, Lauren Graham, Glenn Headley, Tim Blake Nelson, Joe Patagliano, and Gene Triplehorn. It's as if Frank Capra made a porn film.
Yes.
Oh, right. Well, I do look forward to checking this out. I will most definitely. It's used, so it'll be checked out sooner than later. So I can't enter it into my collection yet, but I will be putting it on the pile of definitely jumping ahead in the line there.
Okay. My next one kind of annoyed me. I actually went ahead and took the wrapping off because it was kind of a beat up copy. I'm used to getting pristine, brand new stuff from Right Stuff, so I don't know what the deal was with this one. But it still looks good, but there's like some little notches on the plastic. I don't know what happened. But anyway, this was one that I was pushed into getting because he got me season 2 of this series, and I wasn't sure if I had season 1, and I could not bring myself to pay what I needed to get season 1 regular edition. So I ended up getting the Essentials edition, and that is season 1 of Takashi Kashi. And like I said, if you look real close, that's in really weird beat up shape. It had some sort of weird sticky goop on it. I guess it might have been a price tag, but whatever the case, it doesn't anymore. So that's
I really like season 1. I need to see season 2.
It's a show I need to see. I mean, he told me good things, but I've generally heard good things. Another one I'm a little surprised ended up on the Essentials line because it got such a good reception. But, glad I now have both seasons. One day I'll get to them.
This is so much fun. I don't really care if I have if I have all of the rest of them. It's still fun because this is entertainment right here.
It is.
But let's see what I've got next.
Oh, dear God.
So this one feels. This is a little bit more sturdy than my edition of it. I might have to check out my edition and see. It's an old snapper case, but I feel like, but this one actually has a fold out.
Yeah, that's weird.
Mine does, so that's kind of neat. I actually like that. So I might have to check and see if mine has that because I might replace mine. I think mine's more of a thing. I can just take the disc that I have. That's pretty much likely the same disc, but I have to double check it to see. So I'm gonna put this off to the side to actually see, because if it is the same disc, then I don't want to watch the film again. But I really like the film. I don't get me wrong. I like the film. And this one is about the Jennifer Lopez. She's this doctor. She can enter into the minds of people. And I really love the creativity. This series could be revisited, not like the Cell 2, which was terrible. But this one could be revisited with modern technology. This could be freaking amazing. Almost like an Inception, but more of a horror bent of an Inception. Does that make sense?
My strongest memory of that is that I actually saw it in theaters with my youngest brother, I believe. So he was, I think, in his mid-teens. Might have been a little young for it. But I remember very distinctly that there was a woman sitting a few seats down with her kid who was maybe 10.
Oh.
And I'm sitting there going, what?
Of course, I wouldn't want my child watching Inception either.
Well, for different reasons. Most kids would probably be bored by that one.
You know, for kids.
Yeah, exactly. So next up, we have going into that sort of Takashi Kashi kind of starts that completionism theme that I was talking about. We're going to head back into that for a bit, and we're going to revisit a series that was dead and buried for many, 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 many years. And then out of the blue, we got a new season. And this was a really, really good show, a great show. I enjoyed it immensely. And I'm thrilled that there's a new season, but I have not made a point to see it yet. But I got a good price and jumped on it, and that is Full Metal Panic: Invisible Victory.
Goodbye.
What's that?
I said goodbye.
Yeah, I think it was like 27 or something, which is, not too bad. But this is a show that, again, the first 3 seasons are great. I've heard good things about this one. It is a little bit of a down-the-road series from what I understand. It definitely came along long after the other ones did. I believe they got the same wonderful, the singer, the wonderful singer behind the themes from all the original series, I think came back for this one. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm glad I got it. Don't know how soon I'll get to it, but yeah, it's there.
Oh, good find. Very cool. I like those. I like the original, and I like Fomafu. I really did like Fomafu. So let's see what's next in our surprise box. It's this. Oh,
it's so surprising it's upside down.
There we go. Blu-ray disc only. This was a incomplete version. Actually, I remember these because this Blockbuster did this when they were selling out. Side Effects. So Jude Law, Rooney Mara, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Channing Tatum. Actually, this is one I don't have. Looks interesting. It comes as a suspenseful and provocative tale of intrigue starring Channing Tatum, award-winning nominee Rooney Mara, Jude Law, and Academy Award winner Catherine Zeta-Jones. After her husband is released from prison, Emily begins suffering from terrifying anxiety and turns to psychiatrist Dr. Banks for help. But when Banks prescribes an experimental drug on her, side effects have chilling and deadly consequences. I'm very curious about this. I think I still have some Blu-ray boxes. I need to get more if I don't. And that can be what I do with this because I like to refit them into those. But that will be cool. Add that to my collection.
Very good.
I think it's the Blu-ray. Is it the Blu-ray? Is it Blu-ray disco? Yeah, Blu-ray. Okay, moving on.
All right. So next up, we have, again, the idea of filling in gaps, although there are some tremendous gaps in this series, and I don't know if I'll ever bother to get the whole series. But as far as I know, I think this finishes the movie series. For this series, Bleach, I have movie 3, Fade to Black.
Ah, cool.
And movie 4, Hellverse.
Very cool.
I do already have the first 2 movies on DVD, and I have the first 3 volumes of the initial release of the anime. I am of the opinion that the first movie, Memories of Nobody, is an excellent standalone film. You literally can watch it without ever having seen an episode of the show, and it's still a decent movie. Fans of the series thought it was a throwaway, but, if you don't want to bother with the series, it's a good one. Diamond Dust Rebellion, the second one, you can't watch it without knowing the series. You will be lost. I have no idea with these two how lost I'm going to feel because I haven't seen anything past the Soul Society arc. except for a few bits here and there. But I wanted to have them anyway, if only for completion's sake. The show does have a phenomenal cast to Seiyu, so it was on my list for that reason. And I'll probably eventually get the Blu-rays of the first two movies to condense a little bit. I may eventually spring for the series on Blu-ray, but it's not a priority at this point. The show ran for too long. From what I hear, most of it's borderline watchable. But the first couple movies and the Soul Society arc and everything leading up to it is pretty good, fun, solid shonen stuff. And there's some fun characters. There's some good animation. The character designs are a little overly shonen, if you know what I mean. But good times, and I got good prices on these, so I figured it was about time to get them.
I actually really liked most of the films. The second one was the weakest for me, but
Okay.
the rest of them were pretty strong overall.
All right.
I actually also liked Hellverse because they kind of touch on hell at the beginning and then never again. So let's see. Yeah. So next up. Oh.
There you
All
go.
right, the original Kings of Comedy. So I have
Isn't that
never
just
seen
the
any of
release?
I think it did. So
Yeah.
you got your Steve Harvey, you got D.L. Hewley, Cedric the Entertainer, and Bernie Mac. The late Bernie Mac, but still great.
Spike Lee, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so. Because I remember Spike Lee did this. I think he did. Yes, indeed, he did. So it's kind of cool. It was on my list, actually, to get eventually. So I'm kind of glad to have it. It's cool. I will be prioritizing it, of course, in my viewing again. Even though the security thing is intact on it, I am curious enough about it to watch. I
Nice.
like good comedian. Yeah, know that.
Right. So another shonen series, which I am relatively familiar with, I've seen through about the 12 or so episodes into the second series of 3, although Funimation has decided to put them all as one series, is Fairy Tail. And Fairy Tail, to the best of my recollection, currently has 2 standalone movies. I do not yet have Phoenix Priestess, but I did order off of eBay Dragon Cry.
Cool.
Part of the issue is Funimation has been stubborn about making these affordable. They have been roughly 16 to 20 without exception. And I'll be honest, as much as I'm paying for the show, I don't want to pay $16 for each movie. I think I ended up getting this one for about $12, which is the hard upper end of what I wanted to pay. But I like it. It's got a nice shiny cover. I think this is the second movie, isn't it?
Yeah, the Phoenix
I think
one is
it
the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I still need to see that one. I still need to see this. But I now have it. And so that is good.
You've read the whole manga, I believe.
I have read the whole manga, yes.
So
I believe the movies, I'm pretty sure the movies are both original side stories that are not part of the manga. So you're not really missing anything, theoretically. I should be able to watch it, no problem. I just kind of want to go in order.
Well, this one has a slip cover. I don't know what I'm showing, but I'm going to show it now.
Oh, interesting.
All right. I have been curious. I don't know whether this comes with the one I have for Apocalypse Now or not. But if it doesn't, this is worth having. This is the documentary Hearts of Darkness, which of course covers the film the film. You know that film.
That one.
You know, Apocalypse Now. You know, smelling
Apocalypse
napalm
Now,
in the middle of the morning. You know, the people who snort napalm all day.
Mhm.
As well as the people who made it, who probably also snorted napalm. But I am, if I do not have this as an extra, this will be an excellent addition to the collection. It is, I've heard a lot of good about this documentary, so this would be worth having. And somebody apparently paid $22.98 for it at one point. Can you believe that?
Good times.
Yeah, I know. Not so good for the person who paid a lot of money for it, but yeah.
Okay, so remind me again how many we have left.
Let's see here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 left.
Yep.
Okay. Well then, we've got some stuff ahead of us. Well, first thing then, I'll go ahead and just randomly grab one that's been sitting on the shelf for some time from a much earlier Right Stuff order. This was like back in April maybe. And it's another Nozomi release, and it's called A Town Where You Live. And I don't know much about this, but it was a really good price, and I felt like I wanted to get it, and I want to see it. And like I said, it's been sitting there for several months now, so now it won't have to.
Okay.
You still there?
Sorry, I had to go check on something.
That's quite all right. I'm already done.
So what did I miss? Was it good?
This one.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do actually have this as a feature on the Blu-ray.
Oh, okay.
Cool. But an awesome thing for somebody who is collecting. And we've got a lot of people who like this sort of thing that I know, so this will be kind of cool. All right, let's go on to the other side. It sounds like we got some fun stuff in here. All right, this is... Oh, very cool. A Scream Factory double feature. And I do not have either one of these. That is cool. So this is Ghost House and Witchery. Your tour of terror begins with Ghost House, in which a group of visitors to a seemingly deserted home find themselves tormented by demonic spirits. In Witchery, a new address brings new frights as an immortal David Hasselhoff. Always fun. And the exorcist Linda Blair turn up the terror and Witchery. I actually really like these. I've tried to collect as many of them as I could, but they go out of print so quick. And they're really cool. They have like you can see some of the stuff on the stuff that they print in here. And Scream Factory or Shout Factory, really, they usually put together a solid thing. They slipped a little bit over the years, but they have made they usually maintain a pretty solid product. I do look forward to this. This is probably one of the biggest gems in the thing so far, but I am looking forward to seeing what else might come. I'm going to set aside some stuff I feel like are major gems out of this, to be sure.
Sounds fun. All right. So next up, this definitely would count as a gem if you got it in a mystery blind box. I did not. I paid a lot to get it from Right Stuff, but it was one of those, the daily deals that they bring back at the very end for one last pop, and so I had to go for it. And that is parts 1 and 2 of the Discotheque release, the long-running series, Reborn.
Yes, good series.
I got Reborn 1 and 2, total of, 203 episodes?
Yeah,
that's a lot of episodes. That's a lot of anime there. Huh?
They squeeze a lot in there.
Yeah, and I believe you showed me about the first season's worth or thereabouts?
Yeah, they do a weird... I have read both the I've read the entirety of the manga and I've seen the entirety of the series. What's funny about that is in the manga, the entire first part of it is very comedic, and then it gets just kind of actiony, shonen-y, and far less comedic as it goes. That one paces it a lot better. So I think it's better as far as comedy versus non-comedy episodes. So,
But yeah, looking forward to it.
it's an awesome series.
And it was when, I know you were stoked when Discotheque announced these. I like to see Discotheque do this and tackle the shows that everyone else ignored. And I hope they keep doing that. Yeah.
Like Cheeky Angel. I need to bring it out.
Yes.
All right, so let's see what this one is. It's Oz, the Great and Powerful.
Oh,
Look at the pretty.
yeah, it's shiny.
Shiny. This is a fun one. I need to check and see what my edition is. This may be an upgrade on what I have, because I do remember getting it. And this is the one of the cooler editions. I know. I love the slipcover. So I liked it. I thought it was. I didn't think it was the best film released at the time, but it was a fun film. It was entertaining. I love the little porcelain girl that was in it.
Right. Okay, so now for something completely different. We're going from a series where there is roughly 101 episodes per each volume to a series of great renown that has an episode for each one of those 100. And that is the classic series Aiken.
I must have it on Blu-ray.
I had to get it. I absolutely had to do it.
Oh my. Power to the boobies. All right, so let's see what's up next. This one's heavy. So let's see. And that is Spaceballs, the collector's edition. Actually, this is an upgrade to mine because I just have the basic edition. It's DVD,
nice.
but it's still, cool. It's a 2-disc edition. It's one that they came out with a little bit later. I do remember when they re-released this, and I was tempted. So not only that, it's brand new, which is also really cool. This will be replacing my copy of Spaceballs. Very cool. It's always awesome to have an upgrade. I want to get they need another a complete Mel Brooks collection, especially since he's not really producing anything anymore. He's not making any films anymore. It really needs a full collection.
Right. I would be jealous of that, except that I believe it's Kino Lorber that has it on their slate for, I think, March. And it's supposed to be a really cool edition that's coming out, both that one and the producers just went out of print in Shout Factory, but Kino's getting ready to release it with a bonus edition, so that could be pretty cool. But Kino would be a good one. Kino or Shout would be a good home for like you said, like a really cool Mel Brooks.
Oh, I'd love to get a full-on Blu-ray collection of his stuff.
Right, with the cool box art like you have for the Friday the 13th or whatever. So my next up is another, again, they did a lot of Discotheque stuff as daily deals, and then they brought them back right at the end. And this is one that I've been wanting to see for a bit. I'm very curious about. It's actually the first one you guys may recall I presented Isekai Quartet, but I don't actually have any of the shows that is based off of. But now I do. This is season 1 of Konosuba, God's Blessing in this Beautiful World. It's got the first season and the OVA, apparently. And I have been wanting to see this. I've heard good things. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I haven't really watched it. But I'm definitely curious about it, if only to give me some background before I watch Isekai Quartet.
All right, I've got 4 more to go.
Woo!
1 DVD, and it feels like 3 Blu-rays, or actually that could be 2 DVDs and definitely 2 Blu-rays in that. All right, so let's take the definite DVD, and that is Mallrats. 20th anniversary, which is cool. I got the Arrow release of Mallrats, so this is no longer relevant, but it is still an awesome one. It is probably one of my favorite Kevin Smith films. So it will be given to a good home, I assure you.
Good deal.
You've got Mallrats, don't you?
I do. That probably would be an upgrade, but
that would have been an upgrade to the last one I had, which was the basic edition.
Right.
If I hadn't upgraded it to the Arrow, yeah.
Yeah, that Arrow release does look good. Yeah. So my next up is another shiny one. And this is once again, I believe, the second side movie for a shonen series that I'm slowly collecting on. I don't yet have the first movie here either, which I believe is called Phantom Rouge. But this is Hunter x Hunter: The Last Mission, which I believe this one was like really cheap and I had to jump on it. I am trying to collect Hunter x Hunter, but just like with Fairy Tail and Bleach, it adds up. So anytime you can get a discount, the Hunter x Hunter is a fun series. What's that?
I got lucky on those. I got the movies.
You got lucky on that first series. I found an auction last week for the first Hunter x Hunter series. Up until a day before, all 4 volumes were less than $12.
Whew.
And in the end, one of the volumes, these are what, 4, how many episode volumes? They're not a lot.
Yeah, they're like 20.
One of them went for like $250. One of them was like 112. I think the cheapest one was around 50. I'm like, whew. If I had gotten those for 20 each, that would have been so awesome.
All right.
The newer series is a lot cheaper, but it still adds up. And but I am excited to have this piece and the other pieces I have. I've watched the first 2 volumes of the remake, and I look forward to continuing it once I have volume 3, which I don't yet have. And one day I'll get around to the movie.
Well, let's see what's next. Grudge. The original Grudge. I think.
Yeah.
Or is this the new?
No.
This is the original.
It's the original American one, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't have this on Blu-ray. I have it on DVD.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually, it's definitely the original because it talks about plays on your PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
But I do not have this on Blu-ray. It has the theatrical and unrated. I think I only have the unrated. So that's a cool upgrade. It's good to have that on Blu-ray. It's a good film, solid horror film. I wouldn't mind getting like a Grudge collection on Blu-ray.
Good times.
Move on.
So, next up, what was that?
2 more for me. That's it.
Oh, okay, right. You had me worried for a second, but I'm ending it, so it is 3. Okay. I've decided to end with strictly purchases. We can call them upgrades. We can call them condensations. We can call them whatever. This first one is not strictly speaking an upgrade, but it's a tremendous space saver. And that is the Anime Elements Complete Series Collection of Gasaraki, which I had 8 volumes this side, and now I have 1. So that is a nice space saver.
Yeah.
I know our friend Dave took that off my hands, and I believe you gave it to me in the first place. So now I have a much slimmer edition of the series. It's an interesting series. It's very slow.
It takes a long time to actually heat up.
It's a slow burn. It does have some really good music.
Yes.
And it's very intriguing in some ways and kind of dull in other ways. If you're really into mechas, you probably enjoy it. And especially if you like your late 90s, early aughts kind of series, because I think this came out like 98 or something. I'm not in a hurry to see this again. But like I said, this saves so much space on the shelf. And I do think it is worthy of a place in my collection. So I'm glad. And this only cost me $10. So I think I ended up selling Dave those other volumes for just a few dollars less. I think I paid it. Oh, no. When you factor shipping in, I'm basically out about $3. So not bad.
So my next one, which is another Blu-ray, The Squeeze with Michael Keaton.
I never saw that.
Looks interesting. I don't even, to tell you the truth, I don't know if I've even heard of it. Michael Keaton and Ray Don Chong star in a wild comedy thriller filled with colorful characters, a touch of romance, and an adventure plot that races at an action-packed clip. All right. Well, that sounds like fun, actually. I could see that. That cover would definitely have a harder time with the censors these days. But still, I am very curious about it. I've never seen it before, and that might be a fun thing to add. Michael Keaton, Ray Don Chong, good actor, actress to have more in the collection for. So kind of cool.
Good deal. My next up is also going to be a tremendous space saver, and I thought about, well, I didn't think about, I kind of wish I thought about bringing down the initial volumes to show the difference, but whatever. But a series that I like the old school boxes that these came in, and there is cover art that is a set. It's a set, and I'm going to be upset to break the set. But my hope is I will eventually convert them all, and then it won't matter. But it will save so much space. And I also want to see the show on Blu-ray, because I'm sure it will be gorgeous on Blu-ray. And that is the long-running Rumiko Takahashi series Inuyasha, where I got Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Cool.
And again, that's going to save so much space over the boxes that I have. And of course, there you've got Inuyasha and Kagome. And here you have Miracles, Sango, and what's the cat's name again?
It's been
Kirara. There you go. Sango being my favorite character in the series, of course. Third volume has Deshomaru on the cover, and I recently had an auction where I almost met my target price. My target price for these is $25. I will not pay a dime more because it adds up. But I really do want to convert it all to Blu-ray, but this is not a bad start. So,
all right. So my last one. And I have them all on DVD, but they're the small packs, so they're only like DVDs wide per season.
Well, I know you originally had the individual.
Oh, I had the individuals. That was like
it's like you look at those shelves behind him. It was like two of those shelves.
Yeah. Yeah, a friend of ours took that from me, which is fine. So this one's the last one. It has a slipcover. And Top Gun 4K. Ooh.
Nice.
I do not have Top Gun in 4K. I think we talked about it. It is probably a film that could be a 4K. I think you were like big into like you need to upgrade to 4K for Top Gun.
I don't know if I said that, but it could be, maybe, depending on how much effort they put into it. The music in that film kicks ass, and I'd like to hear it in high def. Yeah.
So I am curious about it. It is a definite upgrade. So we've got several upgrades. So that's an awesome thing right there. And to end my section, and I'll leave you the starring role at the end. I'd say that out of what we got, and of course I'm not going to start with the first two because including upgrades. This here is what I managed to take
Not
out,
bad.
and most of those are there. I would say that the Scream Factory and this are some of the major gems in this, though some of the upgrades like this is also really cool. And this and this, I think, are the so not bad. Out of what we got, that's not bad.
Right. Yeah.
So with that being said, check out the link down below. Sign up for his channel. Check him out. And, if he's still doing the boxes, you should ask and see if they're still going to do it. They're excellent for your YouTube channel. It was a lot of fun. The floor is yours.
All right. And my last one is an upgrade that is not a space saver. In fact, this is probably going to take up maybe 3 times the space that the other one did. But I had to go for it. It was at a price that I had to do. And y'all saw me present the other one of these a while back. But Nozomi, along with 11 Arts, I believe, decided to do a really fancy upgrade for a couple of really phenomenal movies. And I've already presented Makia, the Makia, and my brain is fritzing on me. But the other one that they did was Silent Voice. So I now have the really nice, fancy edition.
Oh, cool.
The nice box and the book and all that stuff. And I've already found a home for the copy I already had. That wasn't very hard at all because it's a really incredible movie. Y'all have already heard us talk at some length about this one, if so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but this is very cool. I really wanted the upgraded fancy edition, and Right Stuff finally brought it down to a price that was reasonable. So, I had to go for it. Yep.
Very cool. And yes, Oz the Great and Powerful was an upgrade.
Nice.
Blu-ray only edition. So this is kind of cool to
Plus
have.
you got the shiny slipcover.
Oh yeah, it looks really cool there. So in any case, we're going to try and move directly from here onto our live show, which I hope y'all were able to participate in. If not, check out our discussion on School Live.
Yay!
But of course, subscribe, comment, and share, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Yeah.